Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afker, and thank you so much for joining us today in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. Thank you for your presence, for sharing with us this space today. And also, we're excited that Eluv is with us on the show. And I'm really excited about today's call because it's first about the healing music that she creates. It's really, really profound. I really love it. I experienced some of it, and also her healing work and the one-on-one work that she does, also that I experienced recently, and really it was really an amazing experience. I got a lot of clarity about some patterns that I have been since childhood, and really it gave me so much clarity about some behaviors I'm having now I wasn't even aware of, and it's been really, really helpful. So I'm excited about today's call, and it will be, so the subject will be about ancestral clearing, sound healing, and light language. And so before we start, I would love to share with you a little bit about Eluv. So she is an intuitive channel and sound healing practitioner, sharing light language through her voice, sound, and music for transformation, energy healing, and enhancement of the soul's journey and greater joy in life. Eluv has utilized and created sound and music as medicine for over 2 decades. She incorporates multiple modalities, including ancestral clearing and epigenetics, to help others access their true authentic self, move forward, and experience a joyful heart, new possibilities, and expansion to higher vibrational states. And also we'll have a Q&A where you can ask Eluv your questions. So for that, if you are on Zoom app, you can raise your hand there if you want to talk to Eluv, or you can type your questions on the chat box. And if you are watching on the webcast page, which is yourdivineuniqueness.com/live, there is a question box there as well. And also she will guide us on a group process and clearing. And so it's really powerful, so stay tuned for that. And so Eluv, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really blessed to be on here. So thank you, and excited for all the listeners, whether you're listening right now or on the replay. Thank you.
Wonderful. And so I'm excited about what we'll be discussing today. But before we start, I would love if you can tell us about your work, like the sound healing, and also the guidance and one-on-one supports that you bring to your clients.
Okay, where do I start? So to kind of give it in a nutshell, my work is a hybrid of different modalities, and some of these modalities have been for many years, and then other modalities came in. For example, the ancestral healing came in. So I started as a sound healer, and I didn't really know that I was going into this journey, but it just happened that people were coming back with responses that I couldn't really explain any other way than the sound was shifting and causing transformations of their being from the inside out and the outside in. So it was a journey of learning at the same time as experiencing the sound myself. And then I started to go into sound healing with a different aspect. Originally, it was kind of looking at it like, what's going on here and how can I understand this better? And then I started to go into the sound with more intentional intentions per se. And I started experiencing different things coming out of those intentions, setting those intentions and having other people set intentions for themselves. I am an ancestral clearing practitioner as well. And what that is really, it's an effective way to clear out the burdens of your ancestral history. So in our ancestors on the maternal and the paternal side, we have a whole line of ancestors that we don't know about. And we don't know what their experiences have been. We're not sure, because a lot of times we may not even have met the ancestors that are even close to us. What if we're adopted, for example? So what happens is that the ancestral experiences and those that are unresolved, so positive experiences, attributes, talents, those kinds of things, and then some of the less desirable experiences, things that are unresolved, things that never really got healed, things that were adverse situations or tragedies, for example, and caused a whole kind of repercussion of the family line and all of their grief and sadness. So all of the limiting beliefs, for example, that have happened in the family line. And all of these are getting imprinted on our genetics. And sometimes the genetics will express themselves in our lifetime. Sometimes they don't express themselves. So it could be that something happens and it triggers one of these expressions. And sometimes we're born with that expression already accessed or already there, if you will. So we're unbinding some of these things that have happened in our ancestral line, and we're clearing up the energy that goes through the line from the beginning, from the inception of that ancestral line all the way down. And when we do the work, so all of you here that are doing this work, you are the chosen ones. You're the ones in your ancestral lineage that have been chosen to do this work to clear the ancestral lines. And there's less static, if you will, in the lines. And this affects your relatives that have passed on already behind you and forward in your ancestral line that's going forward with your kids, their kids, that kind of thing. So it's pretty amazing work. And the light language, I wanted to speak a little bit about that. I use that or intertwine that with the ancestral clearing in a session, for example, when I'm doing channeling. I've been channeling since I don't know when. I was kind of born with this, and it is a light language is coming in. It's really a very interesting thing because it bypasses the part of the brain that is logical. So it goes completely beyond the logic, and we go into this etheric state of grace, and it's using sound to heal. So it's another form of sound healing, but it also can be written and it can be gestures. So there's many different aspects of light language. Any questions, Monsef?
First, thank you for sharing about that, and it's really fascinating, like what we can experience with sound healing or light language. And also, as you were talking about that, I remember, I think a few weeks ago, you sent me about a scientist. I don't remember, maybe from UK. He was listening to your album, and also he did some research on it and how it can affect the body. So I would love if you can tell us more details about that.
Sure. So sound healing or sound therapy, it really helps to restore and balance the body's biological rhythms and processes. It helps to reestablish the correct functioning of the endocrine system, the glands, and then it can also release powerful hormones. And they've done a lot of studies on sound, and this particular scientist took my album and analyzed it for its beneficial properties, specifically for the vagus nerve. And I'll talk a little bit about that. So certain frequencies in music, they have studied and found in science, and I love it because it's science-backed, that certain frequencies penetrate the body's vascular system, and they support the role of the heart in the oxygen binding process. So what happens is that you get more oxygenation. It helps to repair the cells. And my album was particularly studied for the effect on the vagus nerve. And I'll explain a little bit about the terminology. So Octaves of Light was the album that was studied, and it creates heterodyne frequencies, which is optimal for vagus nerve stimulation. And heterodyne is a signal frequency that's created by combining or mixing two other frequencies. And new frequencies, or the new signal, is then called heterodyne. And certain frequencies, as I mentioned earlier, can help to repair the body's cells. So in this case, when we're looking at the vagus nerve, and what is the vagus nerve? So your autonomic nervous system has two main branches. We have our sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. And then we have the parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. So the vagus nerve is responsible for the rest and digest response. And in order for us to heal, we need to be in rest and digest. We cannot be in our fight and flight. There's cortisol that happens, all these different hormones that happens when we're in fight and flight. And it's basically saying, I'm not safe. So we need to feel safe. And the vagus nerve is responsible for that neural pathway, which goes between different organs in the body. It's the 10th cranial nerve, comes out of the brain stem, and then it innervates all these different organs, the brain, the gut, the heart, the liver, reproductive organs, the neck, the larynx, the ears, the tongue. So you can imagine that if you are switching the vagus nerve on in a positive way towards rest and digest, then all these different functions can kind of come into this harmony and balance. This particular study of the vagus or vagal tone basically means that we can go from a situation which might be scary or stressful, and then we can come back to rest and relaxation. If we don't have vagal tone, it means that we get stuck in one or the other. And a lot of times people will get stuck in one and not know that they're in that, and it becomes perpetual and it cycles. So we have this stress cycling going on that releases different hormones, and it changes our body's physiology, and it also changes the way that we feel about ourselves and our emotions. So when we're in rest and digest, we feel good, we feel this connection with others. We don't feel that collapse, or actually the vagus nerve has a couple of different places that it likes to go. It can either go into fight and flight, or it can go on the complete opposite into this kind of paralyzed, collapsed place where we don't feel like we can function at all. So this rest and digest is actually in the middle. And when we have the vagal tone, we can go back and forth appropriately. So it's not that we're trying to be in this perfect place all of the time. We want to be able to adjust to life's different situations appropriately and have our body respond appropriately, going back and forth rather than getting stuck. So the vagus nerve also controls our breathing, and studies show that we can actually influence the vagal tone or the vagal system by doing different kinds of breathing. So we can talk a little bit about that. And any other questions?
Yes. So I love what you shared. And my question is, for example, sometimes like there are modalities who maybe require to know the root cause of maybe limiting belief or some emotions that we have to do the healing. So when we use, for example, sound healing, and is it necessary to do that, or is it will be better to have the combination of both of them?
In terms of the sound healing affects the vagal tone and the breath. So if you can start to combine different modalities, you're getting to cover a broader kind of spectrum of your body's physiology and emotional state. So if we're doing the breathing and we're listening to the music, then our body can adjust on many different levels.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you for that. And yeah, so let's talk about the breathing and how it affects the vagus nerve. Yeah.
There's a physiological sigh, and it's a pattern of breathing that involves 2 inhales followed by an extended exhale. And it was a pattern of breathing that was discovered in the 30s as a pattern that people would go into spontaneously when they would get stuck in a claustrophobic environment or in deep sleep. So there's a buildup of carbon dioxide in the bloodstream, and the carbon dioxide triggers the impulse to breathe. And there are neurons in the brain that know that the carbon dioxide levels have gotten too high. When they get high, it triggers the inhale or the double inhale and the exhale. So we can practice this, both inhales, and they're done through the nose, and then the exhale is done through the mouth. So the first inhale is longer than the second. So we take a nice big inhale, breathing like this. And then another one. So you see that the exhale is a lot longer. The first inhale is longer than the second. And what happens is that the intake of more oxygen allows the offset of this carbon dioxide. So we can just kind of go into that space where we start to do this conscious breathing, knowing that's affecting many different physiological aspects, and it starts to shift where we are emotionally. So I love this because you can do it without anyone really knowing that you're doing it. So if you're at the office, you can take a nice gentle inhale, second inhale, and then exhale. You can do it really quietly, or you can do it with a little bit of gusto when you're on your own, and really feel that inhale and that exhale. When you're exhaling out of the mouth. Inhaling is done through the nose. So when we do this meditation a little bit later, you can also practice this procedure and this technique and see how your body feels.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that technique. And so would you like maybe to share more about the ancestral clearing that you are doing, or is it do you prefer more to be practical during the meditation?
I think that it's a practical thing because if you like, I can do a general ancestral clearing for everyone. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because in this call, there's like a morphic agreement with the Creator, and everyone listening is included in all of the clearing. So if I'm working with someone one-on-one, it may sound very specific, but it also may sound like I'm addressing something in your life. But remember, it could be addressing something in your ancestral line. So this template is including everybody in the degree that it serves each person specifically. So when I'm doing the clearings generally, it's affecting everyone. When I'm working one-on-one with certain people, it's still affecting everyone.
Wonderful. So yeah, so maybe is it a good time to do the meditation with the music?
Yeah, we can do that, and then we can do some ancestral clearing after that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So do I play the music, right?
Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to invite everyone, if you haven't already got a drink of water, to grab a drink of water. It's very important to hydrate, especially when you're doing clearings, you're doing healing work. Always want to remain hydrated. So if you haven't got a drink of water, grab a drink of water. I'm going to drink mine right now before we begin. And when I was meditating earlier, Spirit was saying, we're going to do a meditation that's going to take a few different parts, or go over a few different, go to a few different places and do a few different types of transformation, types of activations. And we will begin anytime you're ready with the music.
Okay, just one.
This track that you're listening to is called Octaves of Light, and it's one of the healing tracks. I'm going to begin a mantra, Taoist mantra. Closing your eyes, opening your arms, legs, spreading your fingers wide, receiving mode. Allowing your whole body to relax. Gently checking in with your being. Into any place lately takes extra nurturing right now. Sending that area love and light. Saying your name out loud if you can in a private place. I stating a declaration for today's healing. Declaration, that which you wish to manifest. A command to your body, to your life, to your whole being, to your spirit. A prayer, a giving of thanks to your whole being. Take a few deep breaths. Practice the vagus breath. In breath through the nose, shorter in breath followed by a long exhale through the mouth. Coming into a connection with your feet with Mother Earth. Feeling the groundedness of Mother Earth underneath your arm. Nurturing. Providing a place for you to outlet energies that are not of your highest order. Electrical interference. Any emotional debris, any psychic debris, allowing them to pass through your heart, down through your body, through the soles of your feet. Allowing Mother Earth to bring back through your feet, through your whole being, a beautiful energy. Deep breath in, exhale, longer exhale. Deep breath in, second deep breath, exhaling out through the mouth. You need to go into this conscious breathing and let this fortify this time that we have here today. Allowing energy to move through your whole being. Allowing the shifting of energy to pass through with every breath. Going into the first phase of transformation and alchemy. Imagining in front of you like a movie screen. This big screen is empty right now. And in the screen, you will place a situation or an occurrence that has happened to you that you would like to shift. This is your time to create alchemy. Place this image into the screen. Surrounding this image with grace, even though the things in this image have happened very shortly in the past, or a long time ago, have been held in the body, and are now ready to be transformed, alchemized, shifted. Seeing this image, now see the rays of sunlight coming into the screen and washing this image all the way through, flooding it with light and love. Take your time and allow the light to flood through this image until you only see light. All that is in the screen is a flooding of light, connecting heaven and earth to you, and you to heaven and earth. Breathing deeply. Exhaling slowly and deeply. Flooding the screen with light. Flooding this occurrence, situation that's happening. See the light like a flood of light, or an impact of light, or a slow flooding of the light, downwards or upwards, or from each side inward, till all you see is light. Ikayana ikanaya manikitaya O nanike lananike anaye O naianaya nikelaya O na. Breathing deeply, immersing yourself in the light. The image has drifted far away, absorbed into that light, purified. Take a few moments now to place into that screen something that you wanted to have happen, that you would have liked to have seen occurring, that you have liked to have experienced. You're rewriting your Akashic. You're sending love and light into this. You are the creator of your destiny. Come into your full power, your full true self. The wisdom of who you are, the love of who you are. You send this love into this new manifestation, this new creation. You're rewriting your past, present, and future. Kina la ni ke ka na ya kai yette kai otuku mama ni dakali nekta kai ya kula na ni yataka ona ni ke ka kaya na ni ke yataka yo. You're connecting with your true soul, the power center within your soul to create your outcome, destiny, your life in the way that you wish to see it. Surrounding this scene, this occurrence with love and light, compassion and forgiveness. Ika naya kai ni ke na ki I ni ke o la ni ki ya ni kaya. Disconnecting the cords that have kept you connected in the past. These cords are cut with love, they're removed with love, light. They're removed with compassion and forgiveness. They are removed with grace. Allowing of that energy to go back to where it originated. For you to have your energy. Now you receive your energy back. Soul fragments that were lost are now coming back into you. Kinaya kanike ana kakaline kakaline yakonani. Merging into your heart center, into your soul, into your whole being. Soul fragments returning to you, bringing wholeness to you, bringing nurturing to you. Oh, naya, naya, naya. Inna kali ni akatu waniki na ulai. Bringing joy into your heart center. Seeing this joy as a rose, a small bud beginning to open. Allow the energy of this light, love, joy, compassion, forgiveness to come into your heart and expand the rose. Your sacred heart is now activated. When you are ready, back into the screen, flooding the scene of light till you see the screen changing to the vision of the ocean. Is calm, is blue. You can see through the water to the bottom of the ocean. You can see sand dollars, starfish, sunlight coming through. See yourself bathing in this ocean. cleansing and purifying. Your body feels this amazing, incredible lightness of being, floating. Every part of your whole being is light. You see the hands of the light of the sunlight shining through the water, going through every pore and every cell in your whole being. Your weightlessness and lightness of being permeates your whole body. Purifying, sending this love and light through every single cell in your whole being. Tinakayetayo anike lanike o anike lanike o nayeke nanene o akite o nani nanike ana o nanike anike ana o atike ana o nae nane Ona kila nani ke naya nani ke apate anoea. Gently coming back into your body, into this room that you're staying in. Gently feeling your body in this presence, in this moment of time. Taking a moment to thank all of your guides and helpers that have helped you on this journey, that will continue to help you as you ask them for assistance, for guidance, in any way, shape, or form, at any time. They are there to help you, my dear ones. We feel that we are encouraging you to ask for more than you have been asking for. Your deservingness is much greater than you have embodied up to now. It is time for your worthiness and greatness to evolve to the next level as it is happening right now. And so it is. Just moving your feet and hands, giving thanks, taking a moment in stillness and silence, allowing your breath to be the guide for your serenity, for your calmness, for the adjustment of your body, for the balance and the healing of your body. And so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Eluv. Yeah, that was really beautiful. I love the music and also the light language and the chanting that you did. That was really really profound. And so thank you so much for that.
Thank you for holding space for yourself and for everyone on this call, for everyone listening, and for all of those that you reach and touch their hearts. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, everyone, we would love to hear your feedback. If you can type it on the chat box. And also we'll start taking questions in a little bit. So if you want to ask Eluv your question, you can raise your hand if you are on Zoom app, or you can type in your question on the chat box on Zoom also, and on the webcast if you are watching there. And yeah, so Eluv, the time to receive questions from the audience. I'd love if you can tell us about the program. There are 2 packages that you are offering. The first one includes 3 audios, 3 healing charts, and 3 videos that combine both the audios and the charts. And then there is package B, which includes the first one plus 16-minute one-on-one private session with you, and our audience have the choice between ancestral clearing or a channeled intuitive guidance session. And I invite everyone to follow with us on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Eluv, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Eluv, ELUV. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the webcast page or on the replay page. And yeah, so Eluv, I would love if you can tell us more about the program.
So the light language package is threefold. It's 3 light languages in 3 different formats. So there's the audio that you can listen to. There's a chart, written light language. And the written light language you can place on your altar, you can place an affirmation on there, you can place a prayer on there, you can place your hand on there, you can put it under your pillow, you can print it out and put it under your pillow, you can do all kinds of things with it. And then Spirit was guiding me to put both of those in a video format where you hear it and see it at the same time. So the 3 light language packages, the first one is clearing what's wrong with me. And out of all of the ancestral clearings that I've done, so often what comes up is what's wrong with me, or what have I done wrong? And when you approach the root rather than the effect, then we can start to really clean up and clear all of the incompletes. And if you're carrying the vibration of what's wrong with me, or what have I done wrong your whole life, this is a vibrational frequency that is on some level going out there. So we want to clear that up and go back into it. This thing about clearing what's wrong with me totally interferes with self-love. So when we look at loving ourselves, these are some of the things that are underneath it, and some of the reasons why we're not getting there. We're not getting the results that we want to get with our progress, our ascension. Forgiveness is huge. Clearing unforgiven situations. A lot of times in our genetics, we have unforgiven situations in our ancestral lines that we don't even know about, that were never resolved. And we can guarantee that. We're all human, right? So in all of our ancestors on the maternal and the paternal side, there's got to be some things that were unforgiven and that people were stubborn about, that they refused to forgive. So this can be from past lifetimes. It can be from this lifetime, from ancestral lineage. So it really helps to melt these energetic ties that we have to the unforgiveness, and it opens up our energy field, giving us more space for the good things to come in. And then you are loved which is the other part of this package, there are so many times where we feel unloved in different ways, and it can manifest in different ways, and often in ways that we don't actually know that that's the root of what's going on. It often comes up in relationships. We feel like the other person isn't loving us the way that we want to be loved, or that we were never loved the way that we wanted to be loved. So this infusion of this light language and the consistent infusion, it helps to connect and reconnect and open that pathway again, because it's like the pathway shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So we're opening the pathway to something that's already there, that we either haven't accessed fully, we may have never accessed it. And this is source. This is the connection of source love within. So it begins to fill up those places and spaces that have felt unloved for so long. So that's the light language descriptions that I'm offering. And then I am offering Octaves of Light, which you just heard, this track, which helps to tonify the vagus nerve, get you into rest and relaxation, rest and digest. It gets you into the format where your body is able to receive. So one of the things that I would say when you're listening is to A, close your eyes, and if you can, sit down or lie down. What this does is it tells the body I'm safe. When you close your eyes, the body registers as there's nothing out there that's going to hurt me. So it's safe to close my eyes, right? And the same when you're lying down. And if you lie down and you open up your arms, even better. So you're opening up your heart, you're opening up your lungs, and you're really giving your body this direct instruction and direct command to feel and be safe. So that's the Octaves of Light music, and you can go into a comfortable space. You can listen to it also while you're doing something. If you really want to go into your own meditation or your own healing practice, I highly recommend to do it with your eyes closed and sit down or lay down. And then with the, so you have a choice of doing the ancestral clearing, or we can do a channeled session. We can connect with your guides, your loved ones, your higher beings, your helper beings. You can have questions answered, find some resolution to things. And it's a really good way of understanding the next move, or getting a clearer picture of what is my next move, or what is the direction to go in. And Spirit's always very practical. So it's a very simple and practical way. There's always practical advice given and simple things to do. A lot of times we don't do what we know we should be doing in order to progress. So it's up to you whether you're going to embody and take the recommendations. And that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Eluv. Yeah, first, want to share a little bit about the session. Like you mentioned the details, how it works. So also from my own experience, like it was really beneficial for me, helpful. And like throughout the session, from time to time, you were giving channeled guidance about the theme that we were working on. And then like, as I was like, during the day-to-day life, really it's the information and the clarity you gave me really helped to really notice like some patterns that were happening for a very long time. I became able to see that and to observe that and allowing to to be transmuted and shifted. So yeah, so it's really an experience that I recommend to have with Eluv, and also with package A, where you can have the light language, whether audio, charts, or both on the video, and it can really be a very profound experience for you. And again, you will find those two packages, and you can sign up to one of them on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Eluv, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Eluv, ELUV. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the webcast page or on the replay page. And Marlena wrote, let me admit, Angela. So Marlena wrote, that was a beautiful process. Thank you. Thank you, Marlena. And Destiny, yes, forgiveness is a big one for me. And also on the webcast page, Linda, she wrote, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for this lovely transmission. My heart is singing. Thank you, Linda. And we have a question from Amy from Boston. Dear Eluv and Monsef, any insights how to clear dry and rigid ego structure from my field from many generations that makes me feel hopeless and can't see the opportunities around me? Infinite gratitude and love.
So this would be, you're talking about generational. Can you read the first line? Dry ego?
Yeah, dry and rigid ego structure from my field. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that question. When we're working with the ancestral line, the ego can be the effect of something else. So that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. So I won't know until we get in there, okay, what is the direct influence? Why is the ego acting like this? Why is it stuck? Is it stuck because it's not feeling safe and it doesn't want to move? It's protecting itself. Is it a protective mechanism? What is that in the root cause? So that's what I would want to go to really start to dismantle, because it's like if you have a tree and you go to the branches and the leaves, you can pick some of the leaves, you can pick some of the fruit, but you still have the root there. So when we do this work, we want to go to the root, and how it's showing up can be a myriad of things. It can be anything. So the ego and that stubbornness may be coming from something that is several levels down. And when we can clear that, now we're really opening up the energy. It's not something you have to carry. And it, let me give a message. We want to get to the cause rather than the effect, you see, so that there can be a liberating of the being of the soul. So there's a sense of liberation that can happen. Otherwise, if we go for the symptom, then we're working on one level and not going to the root of why that's there. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Eluv. And let's see. Yeah, thank you, Amy, for your question. And another question from Jenny from California. Hi, beautiful souls. How do I clear ancestral feeling of unworthiness and sadness from my heart, solar plexus, and field? Thank you very much. Blessings.
That's what we're doing in the ancestral clearing sessions. So whatever you come with, we go to the root. So I highly recommend, we're going to do some one-on-ones with people. Do we have time for that?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have 30 minutes left.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once again, we're looking at clearing something, whatever that something is. And the mind gets fixated on what the something is, but what's behind it is in the subconscious. So we don't necessarily know what that is. And when I'm working with people one-on-one, you will reveal to yourself and to me what that is. So we get the revelation together. It's a team effort.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. We have Destiny. Can you unmute yourself? And also, again, everyone, if you want to work one-on-one with Eluv, you can raise your hand on the Zoom app. Destiny, you are muted, Destiny. Can you unmute yourself? I can't do that on my app.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, that was a nice process. Thank you so much. There's definitely I don't know that I don't think I feel grounded or embodied. Like I don't feel quite right in my body, and I'm not sure what's going on, but I feel like I could definitely use some kind of grounding. And I've just been feeling a lot of yeah, maybe you could see what's going on. There's like a lot of panic and fear.
Yeah. This is coming through, not to be scared of it, but when it gets removed, it has to go through and you feel it on the way up.
Oh.
Not to be scared. It is some processing that gives you the signal that it is leaving. So what happens is many times the people get scared in the process and they stop the process. You need to breathe and bring your body into regulation through your breath. And you also need to drink water. And if you have a crystal next to you, we recommend, or a stone, to hold the stone in your left hand. Do you have a crystal? Okay. Do you have water?
Yes.
Okay. Breathe through it. You have to breathe through it. I remember talking to a very wise person, and he said there's no way that you can get through an illness without it coming back through, without it passing through. It's like, okay, I'm passing through, saying goodbye, I'm leaving, bye. But then what we do is we're like, oh, don't go. You've been with me for so long. You know, and we don't do this consciously, right? We just do it out of this fear that something's leaving. So what's going to fill that gap? So it's a natural thing that happens with our ancestral mind or mammalian mind, that part of ourselves that go into fight and flight. So just know that spirit is guiding you to leave something that was there for a very long time. And this will take about 3-4 days of integration.
I've been going through this like 2 weeks. I've been going through this like nonstop for 2 weeks. I'm just like, it's almost like giving birth. It's like you're sitting there and you're sitting in it. And you're just like, I just want it out. Just get it out. Just get it out.
But that saying, I just want it out, makes it wrong. It makes it bad. It makes it like something that you're not wanting to happen. So it's that energy. So instead of that, you can go into, I'm grateful for this process. not putting a time limit on, because sometimes when something's leaving, you're also integrating and you're also recalibrating. So there's a lot going on, right? It's not just one thing. So it is possible that you have been going through all of these different things and it is very intense for you and you don't really feel comfortable with it. We ask you to employ the breath as your guide and as a helper to get through this. Also, they're saying for you to take an Epsom salt bath. Do you have a bathtub? Okay, so that will help you ground. That will help you get back in your body. And they're saying that you're recalibrating to a higher level, a higher level, a higher level. So this is format of crystalline energy and it changes the format and it sometimes goes in waves. Questions? How does that resonate?
It resonates, but is there any way that we can get some grounding right now, just so I feel more present? Because I don't feel present.
Do you have water?
Yeah.
Okay. First thing, drink some water. Bringing in grounding. For destiny, bringing in grounding. Tina kani kela nani ke ayatu akatu yakatu 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 inakaya teki kakaya na yeah. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Kia nani kia. Okay, they want you to bring your hand over your head 3 times, grounding into my body, grounding into my body, grounding into my body. Placing your hand at your heart, both hands. Just sitting and breathing.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time because there's other people, but I'm grateful. Thank you, Eluv.
Pleasure. Don't forget your Epsom salt baths.
Oh, I will not.
For those of you who don't have an Epsom salt, a bath per se, you can do it in a little tub, plastic container, or if you're really enthusiastic, you can do it in plastic bags where you have the Epsom salt in each plastic bag, and then you put your foot in each one, 2 bags, and then at the end you tie the plastic bags, give thanks, and then chuck them out in the garbage. And you can do that if you're not feeling grounded, you can do that and have them in your car. I've had them in my car. Like if I've gone to an event or something's just like not feeling grounded, I really need to get grounded, put your feet in those bags, tie them up and chuck them out. So thank you.
Thank you, Mansaf.
Thank you. Thank you, Destiny. Much love. And we have Angela. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi there. Hi.
Hi.
I'm just getting over laryngitis, so my voice isn't all there yet, but I hope you can understand me.
Yes, no worries.
So I'd say since 2011, I've been dealing with very achy neck and shoulders. I actually had 4 herniated discs in my neck in 2011. I've been told that it's genetic, degenerative disc disease, arthritis, energetic interference, guilt, fear, all kinds of things. And I have been working on myself since 2011. However, I still have the pain, and it sometimes it's so bad it brings me to tears.
I feel it. I physically feel it in my body.
I'm sorry.
No, no worries. Okay, so my guides, as you're speaking, said that you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Something about too much responsibility, obligation, self-imposed. Does any of that resonate?
It totally does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a combination between the physical self and the non-physical self. And what they're saying is for you to give yourself permission and also not to try and do it all on your own. So when they say permission, they're saying to start talking to your body in commands. And at the same time, not to be focused or too pointed in what's happening in the process, because some mechanisms in the body, it's like they might need to catch up with what's going in the spiritual aspect of the body. And so if you're making affirmations or commands to the body and the body isn't showing up the way you want it to, then what happens is that you go right out of faith and you go into despair or whatever that is, depression or untrustworthiness. And it's like you don't trust your own body then. You don't trust your own, the body's capacity to heal because it got stuck or because it's not healing fast enough. So you want to take the time limits off, first of all, and take off the way that it's going to show up and start talking to your body in the way that you have the right to heal. You deserve to heal. You haven't felt on a cellular level deserving to heal on some subconscious level. So when there's a mismatch of what's going on in the subconscious and the emotions and the ancestral line, and you're trying to do this thing over here, but over here is all this minutia, all this stuff that's under it that keeps vibrationally, keeps it locked in vibrationally. So part of that is relearning and doing things differently. You can't do the same thing and expect this, you get the same results, right?
Yeah.
Expect different results.
Yeah.
So, any questions?
I've actually been not taking on everybody's stuff any longer, and I've been doing way more self-care. Yeah, I mean, there are the odd days where I don't have any pain at all, but for the most part, it seems to always be there.
Cancel, cancel, clear, clear. Cancel, cancel, clear, clear. Cancel, cancel, clear, clear. That's one of those hidden thoughts that is directing that. We can understand a lot about our what's going on by the things that we say or don't say. And they're saying you have the training wheels on for self-love and self-compassion, and moving to higher levels requires some assistance. Right? So you're on the path. You're on the path. And they're saying not to give up. Sometimes the body is the last thing to shift. For whatever reason. Sometimes it's the first thing to shift. You know, you'll see a shift. So it's really about releasing judgment on what's happening or what's not happening, right? And releasing this assessment on what's happening or what's not happening. So they want me to do a little light language with you. Kataya nikakaya nikete yangagaya monagi ayati kalanike onike kaya nakaya monanagi lanana okataya nanakiya. So the energy was going over your sacred heart center. It was coming in through the back, going into the front, very nurturing. So they're saying nurturing for you, nurturing, 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 nurturing. It's this sense of being very gentle with yourself. Sometimes you are hypercritical of selfie because have very lofty ambitions for self. I don't know.
It's true. I mean, I've been stepping out of the box and really shining my light, and then things get going really great, and then boom, I get hit with this virus, and it's like, oh, another setback. Like,
no, not setbacky, not setbacky. Sometimes the virus comes in to adjust the body to new level, get better and better and better. So it is a signal for you to rest, rest, rest. The rest is necessary for this. So the only way the body can know to do this, because we tend as people to do more and more, more, more. Want more, do more, want more, do more. So the body says, okay, we give a signal to have to rest. It is one of those things to begin to look at things, everything as gifty. So they're just saying, look at it as a gift, right? Yes. Look at it as a gift for you to be able to recalibrate. Part of this is recalibrating. And also, when you get sick, you also release a lot of the dead old cellular stuff. So it's like this cleaning and flushing out of the body. That's a good thing, right? So you also take your Epsom salt baths.
I do every other night.
So this is, they're also saying geranium oil for you. Geranium oil. If you have the essential oil of geranium.
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yes.
Also good for moving the lymph. Cypress and geranium, good for, and lemongrass.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Angela. And also thank you so much, Eluv.
Pleasure. Any other questions?
We still have 10 minutes left. Yeah, we have written questions.
Okay.
Yes. So first, a feedback from Amy. She wrote, yes, thank you, Eluv. This makes sense, very helpful. I even felt a change. Blessings and gratitude.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, thank you, Amy. And the question from Maya. Dear Eluv, if the cause of my resistance is fear, how do I clear the fear? Thank you very much.
Fear is not the cause, something underneath the fear. So when you look at clearing the fear, you're not getting to the root. So once again, we look at these things that we want to clear and categorize them as they're things that are going on, and then there's something underneath the fear. So the fear, I'll give you an example. If it was ancestral, it could be an ancestor that was persecuted, and they were persecuted for something that they did or said that wasn't an offensive, but it was taken offensively. So then there's this fear of not speaking the truth or not speaking the person's mind, because this has happened where somebody suffered because they spoke their truth, or they spoke. So now they go through their whole life and they're fearful of doing that. So you have the root, and the fear is just how it's chosen to show up, right? It's the choosing of the discord, but it's not the originator of the discord. And so fear is also telling us that the body isn't in regulation, right? It's not in vagus regulation. So we can do the breathing to start to improve the vagal tone, the ability of the vagus nerve and the whole system, and that fight and flight, for that to start dissipating and be able to move back and forth and go into fight and flight when it's really necessary, rather than have a constant fear. So there is a physiological thing or a technique that we can do. We can go into that breathing. We can listen to the music. We can listen to light language. And those things can help to start to appease the body. And out of having the body in more a grounded way, we have more clarity. And we're able to see what's beyond the fear. So maybe not looking into the ancestral line or into our past lives, but we can start to disseminate and look at how we're using fear in our lives, how we're keeping it locked, and how to disengage. The fear is one of those things that tends to get locked in as a perpetual thing. It can also come from the birthing experience. It can come from suffering at birth, right? If the child is not breathing during the beginning of the birth, and then they have to get the child breathing, that's like a fear of life. That's a fear in general of, will I survive? So fear can come from all kinds of places. So the things that you can do are use the tools. And if you really want to get to the bottom of it, you can do ancestral clearing or different techniques to find out what's underneath that fear. Let me know if you have another question based on that question, Maya.
Yeah, so Maya, if you can, yeah. Yes, this is my fear, not speaking my truth. Fear of death from the past. Thank you.
So you have a voice, you have permission, and you have the right to speak your truth. You have the right to your dreams. You have the right to move forward. You all have the right for this. You have the right to follow your heart, to follow your creativity. You have the right to be supported. You have the right to heal, feel secure and safe. You have a voice, and your voice wants to be heard. And so when you're working through this, it takes a little bit of getting past that. And eventually you move in a different direction, and then you get more comfortable with speaking your truth and speaking your voice without taking on the responsibility of what another person will think or feel. That's their responsibility. Your responsibility to yourself is to be your true, authentic self at all times. And that's it. That's all. That's all it takes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Eluv. And also thank you so much, Maya, for your question.
Thank you.
We still have 4 or 5 minutes left. Do we take one more question or?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer written or one-on-one? Like
Either way.
Okay.
Anyone have their hand up?
Yeah, we have Camille. Can you please unmute yourself?
Thanks, Eluv. My question is, it's mainly for my daughter, who just had a major car accident on Sunday. When we went to the screen in the process, I asked for her healing. And what came through is they showed me a shark. So I thought maybe she needs shark bone, because except for her left arm, every other limb has been affected. My other question was, when we went to the Ancestral, cutting the cords, they actually, after I did that, I was handed a large envelope. Thank you.
Did you see what was in the envelope?
No, but it looked like a business envelope, you know, one of those brownish. Yes, I don't know what's in it yet.
So you can ask for that to be revealed.
Yes.
And you could do automatic writing for that, or you could go into meditation, or you can ask to be revealed in your dreams.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So what was the question around your daughter?
Is there anything that the guides are requesting or showing that how I can help her? What does she need?
Okay, we want you to see her body as totally healed. Keep visualizing it as totally healed, healed, healed. We want you to do this as opposed to seeing her the way she is right now. You will be sending this frequency to her. So they want you to really embody her as whole and healthy, whole and healthy, whole and healthy.
Okay.
And they're saying the shark is also a message that she will be able to bite through all of this adversity, bite through it. So they're kind of showing me the shark biting through all these cords and things that were attached to the accidenta.
Okay.
So you can see that happening as well in your visualization for her.
Okay.
She will require some remedial therapy and respond really well.
Okay.
She's robust.
Yes, she is.
They're just saying that she's going to come through, and she's a robust girl, and to know that about her and to go into that energy, that's the energy you want to go into.
Okay.
That's the way that you can nurture her, is to embody her as totally, completely well and recovered and rejoicing in each of the moments of her recovery, rather than looking at the difficulties, because there may be some ups and downs. Whew.
Oh, thank you. I have been doing Reiki on her.
Nice.
And should I continue with that?
Yes, sir. She responds very well. This really helps her nervous system too.
Thank you.
Yeah. This will help her nervous system to stay in that rest and digest and that healing mode.
Okay.
And you can also teach her about the breathing.
I thought so. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Camille. And
Thank you. And
much love. And also thank you, Eluv. That was beautiful. Also, we have a feedback from Maya. Wow, thank you from my heart and soul. Tears of gratitude, blessings. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, so Eluv, thank you so much for today's call. Yeah, it was really amazing call with the information you shared in the beginning, the meditation, and also the one-on-one and that you did with the audience. It was really powerful. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And when we get to work one-on-one with each other, we can go into more depth and we can do the actual ancestral clearing through different aspects. So that's an offering for all of you, whoever's wanting to really go into that on a deeper level. I invite you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you can do that and sign up either for one of the packages that Eluv is offering us on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Eluv, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Eluv, ELUV. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the webcast page or on the replay page. And so as we mentioned earlier, we got 2 packages. The first one includes light language, 3 light language audios, 3 charts, and then 3 videos that combine both of them. And then you can have a one-on-one private session with Eluv, and you have a choice between 1-hour ancestral clearing session or 1-hour channeled intuitive guidance session. And everyone, thank you so much again for joining us today's live, or if you will be watching or listening to the replay. And I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Monsef. Thank you, everybody. And Camille, you can also give your daughter the light language scripts and all of the audios.
oh, perfect. I was going to. Thank you.
Much love, many blessings.
Wonderful.
Thank you.